stand amidst encompassing silence. I'm deaf, dumb, and blind, and yet deaf, dumb, and bold. I yearn for transparency and clarity, and here
a dark messenger came to me.
With ill tidings, words fell from his lips. There's a disturbance born of death, yet here it seeks the outcast of its grim games, like a playmate of your doom, so to speak. It puts me back to rest, soft and tender.
To the realm of dreams.
So says the cinder.
And in that film I watched myself sleep, as a man entered my room, blade in hand.
He crossed to my bedside slick as a fox, brought the blade across my throat ear to ear, and soaked my pillows a shade of crimson as he was a fox, he came to quint. I watched in horror, I felt my skin tear and separate from its rightful holding. I watched and I gurgled, choking on blood, draining my life fluid onto the sheets. I grabbed my own throat, but I found no blood. The dark messenger told me his grave name. His name was
Rubicante!
Grave Traveler, the dictator of the dark nether realm.
Come hither on a journey.
He beckoned.
Let me show you thy life, sins, and fortunes.
Why do I need to see this?
He drew me close.
Because you have not lived.
Who are you to judge me?
He drew me close.
Because you have not lived. Just think of me like Jacob Marley, merely a ghost of long lost Christmas.
The vision of a bedside corpse returned.
Why must I die to take such a trip?
You must be banished from those things that once shaped your old, formless, soulless life. You have become a vessel of sadness, chained to the monotony of the day, slave to the bidding of what you think you must accommodate to from day to day.
At this, the specter paused, and I saw eyes hidden beneath his black smoke-laden cowl. I felt subtle tenderness in his heart, and I knew that this trip would be for good.
Though the thick stench of sulfur was far too much to bear, I tore my eyes away from the bloody vessel that lay in bed. The knife-wielding man had left his grim mark.
Fear not, Manikin. You will return to your hollow vessel, a changed, better man. And you will think of your journey as naught but a tumultuous and vivid dream.
I asked,
Why subject me to visions that you believe will alter my heart and heart? And what if I choose not to capitulate? What have you then? Apparition.
At this, Rubicante let out a ghostly cry and said,
All who have taken the trip have learned from their mistakes that have plagued their lives. I have confidence in your shaky soul.
I looked at the earth and released a sigh.
We must go quickly, Manikin. Time short.
A black liquid cloud erupted from beneath my feet as I felt my body rise up.
I was observed by the black liquid cloud as my body was catapulted through a door-shaped light. I heard sensational screams, and suddenly, there was a shade of black. The specter's voice echoed in the darkness.
Listen carefully, fellow traveler. Our first step will be before you were born, on the very day of your conception.
I replied,
Why trouble me with my youth?
It begins with your birth and ends with your death.
the foggy specter said through burning eyes.
Now silence yourself and observe your birth.
I want it now, Bridget.
I'm not.
You have no say. You will do as I say.
Spectre, don't tell me.
But direct the question continue.
I don't want to see these fabrications, I said. You are not my parents.
Stop! But the specter remained unmoved and said not.
Damn it!
I tried to look at the images, but despite the heart clenching my eyes, the waves seemed self-persistent inside my head.
I heard the animalistic like that.
Do as I say.
Mother!
Submit.
This did not happen!
Face it! You can.
Rubicante said, the voices emanated from what seemed like an eternity. Like thunder, the screams of pleasure and pain resonated through my very being. Then suddenly it stopped! Cold in its tracks. It froze, rewound, and played itself again. I felt a twist deep within my stomach, yet so far removed from my present state.
I felt air leave my weakened body. I stared at my hands to find an answer, yet I only saw lines, wrinkles, and veins. Pathways of history that didn't create. The spectre stared and breathed its heavy breath. Expressions of despair and sadness remained frozen as I watched the act. I swore I could hear
why you showing me this?
I bellowed. I swore I could hear the specter's laughter.
I pondered the spectre said in silence. Not a grimace nor a moment was had. I was then funneled into darkness, with only hints and beams of smoky light. And like a hammer, I fell to the ground. The visions were a dull beating for me. There came a silence, then a crackling sound. Then I heard the first sounds I ever made.
I was stunned at the sight of my young form. Childish squeals went deep inside my heart. Was I really hearing the sound of my own young voice?
Get out of my head!
It was all that I could scream.
There's something different about my dad.
I suddenly thought as I looked at him.
Spectre, you're giving me the wrong vision.
Rubicante pointed with his careless hand. I did not understand this vague gesture until I heard words fall from the man's lips.
Look, babe,
I asked.
you know we can't take care of it. He's just put it up for adoption.
Lies!
I barked as I trembled all over. At this moment, a man entered with a woman, followed by a woman of same age. And in this moment, I saw my parents.
No. Spectre, this cannot be true. My parents held me closer than anyone else. They would never lie to me. They would have told me about this.
Rubicante moved in close and said to me,
Your parents' actions were to protect you from your past. They knew that your history would be too much to suffer through alone.
Alone. But I had them. We had each other.
No! There was a severance between you. There was a rift that you could not rise from.
the specter said there was smoke-laden eyes.
I know of no rift.
I said, standing still,
When did you first realize that you would not remember your life before you was around 6 or 7 years old?
What point are you trying to make, Spectre?
he slowly drew a circle in the air. His curved finger remained cryptic and vague.
My point is what you have been denying. Shut your mouth and watch what you have not heard.
In the billowing smoke, I saw a child. In the distance, I could hear my name being called.
Ash? Where are you, Ash? Why are you hiding?
The child was holding a bloody towel.
Ash, what did you do? Lucas, come here!
Bridget, what happened?
Jesus, Lucas, look!
Ash, speak to me. Why did you kill the cat? The memory struck me quick as lightning. Blurry, sharp, yet unmistakable.
This is not the first time this has occurred.
Bridget began to say with tear-filled eyes.
Bridget.
Don't touch me.
Lucas, I understand. Bridget, I know.
The doctor said with a lack of concern.
I read a story in the newspaper. There is one thing. I think it might just work. It's a procedure. A lobotomy. A way to do damage to the brain, wipe it clean. You won't remember a thing. Are you sure you want this for your son?
They only nodded in quick agreement. Then the specter said,
They had to sign a contract to put you up for adoption so that they would be completely free of you from then on.
No, this is not what happened. This is not the truth.
It happened! And to you!
I clenched my eyes harder, tighter this time. Rubicante would not let the vision cease.
After the surgery, things were better. You had new parents, and thanks to part of the lobotomy, you were none the wiser to your parents.
Don't give me lies, Spectre. Show me the truth.
Denial, as said, is another thing. But don't believe me? Look them up.
And with that, a flurry of gray smoke came. Then darkness I had not experienced. The sounds of a party resonated. A voice stuck out, lingering in the night.
I know that voice.
I said to Rubicante,
However, his form was not to be seen. Light rose on the girl alone at the club. She sipped her drink with pure delicacy. The specter appeared and drew near to her.
Recognize this one.
Rubicante motioned.
Yeah. She's just some troubled girl I used to know.
Troubled. Was that before or after you?
What? Rubicante, this girl died. How is this my fault?
Watch the ripples of the stone in the pond.
I don't understand, Rubicante.
The specter just motioned to the lone girl. My words came out of his lips to the girl.
Hey! You aren't here alone tonight, are you?
You're that guy from my class, right?
Yeah, I sit behind you in poli-sci.
That professor's such an ass sometimes.
The utterances of the night ensued, and the whole conversation was played back. I also saw my friend Neil at the club. He was a sly one at Manikin pills.
Here, hold it. I need to use the restroom.
In her absence, pills were slipped in her drink. Upon her return, tears of bottoms up.
All right, guys, bottoms up.
Bottoms up.
Thumbs up.
The night went on, I followed her home. Sexual urges were overbearing, and she could not even walk correctly. The sexual urges were too overbearing. I pounced her during her weakened state. I became animalistic, guided by my carnal, rudimentary ways. I entered her shrouded by darkness. She screamed as she fought. She pushed me away. And in a matter of screen-filled minutes, I rolled over and exhaled to myself. She quivered and she cried. She did not move. Immediately I had remorse.
Irrevocably, the deed was still done. I made my way into the night, broken, but not as broken as the remains of the fragmented girl crying in her room.
You never saw her again, did you, Ash?
No. She moved back home. Got into drugs, I think.
What then?
Do you remember that club girl? Friend told me she overdosed on coke.
Spectre, what does this have to do with me?
About that.
Darkness again as I heard her crying. Spectre showed me the girl, with pen in hand.
I'm sorry. Mom. Dad. I love you. But this asshole did this to me. Not you.
Is that a suicide note she's writing?
Watch, feeble human. Learn from your mistakes.
She folded up the note and walked away.
Rubicante, where is she going? Where did she run off to?
You, of all people, should know that answer.
The specter answered with a bold grimace.
Well, my mannequin, to fetch your gun.
That's not what happened to her. Is it?
Denial is such sweet sorrow.
Don't mock me, dark traveler. I will not.
Then a force surged through me, crippling me.
Speak carefully, for my patience wears thin.
So this is how you earn your keep, by attacking me and by subjecting me to these visions.
Rubicante walked forth and looked at me.
Yes! Fear not, human. You have one more vision.
Darkness again, as if it were summoned. And I hear a voice in the darkness. I recognize this voice. This time it's the voice of my friend Colt. This time the conversation was recent.
But this happened only 2 months ago. This isn't buried in years of my life.
Watch, feeble human. Learn from your mistakes.
Yes. I remember this conversation. My friend Colt was asking me. Well, he was begging me for money.
I can't afford the surgery, he'll die.
But I didn't have the money, Rubicante.
Oh, but you did have the money. You did.
I did not. The money was tied up.
I can't afford the surgery, he'll die.
I did not have the money, Rubicante.
Oh, but you did have the money. You
I
did.
did not. The money was tied up.
Are you listening? John could die this month.
He didn't die. The hospital came through. Colt said blood's rushing to John's brain.
Help me, Daddy, get this money, save me!
Brain decompression surgery, save him.
Daddy, it's swelling, it's starting to hurt!
Brain neuroplasty, brain decompression.
He did not die. The money was tied
Blood
up.
is rushing to his head, he could die.
Daddy, it's swelling, it's starting to hurt!
Brain neuroplasty, brain decompression.
He didn't die. The money was tied
Blood
up.
is rushing to his head, he could die.
He didn't die. The hospital came through.
You had the money. Colt only needed $1,200, but no. You killed your friend's son. You killed your friend's son. You let him die for $1,000? And for what? The money you had tied up?
This is not the truth. You would have told me about this.
The money you had saved for your vacation. Have you seen the error of your ways?
Stop.
Have you seen the ramifications?
Stop.
Have you not seen?
Stop the vision, Spectre! I care not for the errors that I have made! A man should not be arrested for the sins of his past! He should not grow from the trials and tribulations of the past!
What madness do you speak of? Manikin.
I am not a mannequin! I am me! I was the wasted sins of my father, and yes, I was the sad mistake of my mother, but I am not anymore! Rubicante!
These words seem insubordinate, human. They reek of the flaws of humanity. Do you dare mock me in your own trial?
Yes! Yes, I contest your accusations!
Then you are adrift in your own ego, and there you shall remain, always afloat.
Time slowed down as creatures entered the room. I tried to fight them off, but it was futile.
Rubicante, command your attention. When faced with the shadows of your past, heed, when confronted with destruction, just yield. You cannot stop the inevitable. You cannot evade death, just accept it. Nor can you avoid fate, just follow it. Your life is the dice you choose to gamble. Humanity, I implore you! Roll them!